What is happening, folks? Welcome to Gameplay, the eSports show that keeps you in the know of all things high school and university eSports. My name is Collins Manyame, aka Scorer in the eSports street, and today we're going to be covering sort of the build-up and next week more so a bit of the conclusion to one of the events that took place recently, the Kuro National LAN. And I'm so excited to jump into that one because, seeing more of these opportunities pop up for high school and primary school really warms my heart to see that esports has developed and come so far in recent years. But alongside that, we'll also be covering a memory from AJC, stock standard procedure, and to kick it off, well, not really kick it off, end it off rather, we're gonna have our special guest interview. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So jumping right into the first one, before I actually get into the insert and sort of the highlight reel, I just want to talk about just how far we've come with esports locally, to a point where we're seeing this inducted at a grassroots level, seeing it in primary school, in high school, in universities. I didn't have these opportunities, but it's really cool to see brands like Super Sports Schools, ACGL, the HSEL leagues, being able to provide these opportunities and coverage of esports to allow more eyes, more notice, and more interest to be gained within esports. And I may not be the front runner, but I still want to be able to be a part of that change and growth and people providing those opportunities. And another one that's been providing opportunities, Kuro. The Kuro National LAN took place this past weekend. So let's take a look at how the setup looked. We chatted to a few people, also got a bit of BTS as well, so let's see how that turned out. When I tell you, I get goosebumps thinking about how amazing these events are, and I'm really excited to show you guys how this event concluded next week, because as I've been saying, Kuro really know how to make a LAN pop, and it's gonna show you some fireworks come next week. But one thing people sometimes don't take into consideration outside of this is, we had casters casting over the games, but what happens when your team is playing, or the school that you're a part of is playing, the esports org that you're a part of is playing, and you have to sort of put away bias? Sometimes you might think, how do you even do that? How is it even possible? Well, here's Mike, altruism from Thomas More College, ASL shoutcaster, teacher, and coach, a part of the team, telling us how exactly he puts away his bias anytime his team is playing, and how any caster can learn to do that. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Michael Ord, otherwise known as Altruism. I'm a high school science teacher at Thomas More College in KZN. I also am a commentator for the Rocket League and Fortnite Schools League. So I've gotten to see both sides of being the teacher of a school and, of course, the professional scene behind it. It has been an amazing journey. You know, everything has trouble behind it, some complications along the way, but in general, the whole process has been really easy. The students have been so excited the whole way through. They've been talking about the pros that they really want to get to see or their performance at the events, and every part of it has just been a great build-up up until the moment that they've finished their last game. Oh, it has to be meeting the pros. A couple of them have got their caps and they brought down a Sharpie pen just for the explicit purpose of going and getting signatures from the pros, which in my mind is the first time this has ever happened in the esports scene. So getting to see the look on their faces of jumping around and being like, oh, he knows me, he's talked to me, I got a picture with him. It's been so wholesome from that side. LAN is definitely a different environment for anyone, and there's definitely that added bit of pressure, but I think that the students did spectacularly well. Our Rocket League team came third, which was an astounding result. So excited, they got to play on the main stage and they loved every minute of that. Our Fortnite team set themselves with big hopes of winning the competition. They still came sixth, and I'm really proud of what they were able to do. So while they may be disappointed, I couldn't be happier with my team. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think their consistency and their practice has been really good up until now. We've had some episodes with some great coaches along the way, and they've been able to kind of give them the ins and outs. I think they've already now got this LAN experience, but I would love to start having more of these LANs, even just more casual face-to-face matchups against other schools would be so good to give them an idea and start getting people to watch them a little bit more. You know, maybe broadcast it as part of a schooling fixture where you've got all the rugby and the soccer and stuff like that. Make the esports stand against that other school a part of that, so that other people can see what they do and the kids can get used to that sort of interaction with those around them. Ooh, I want to get to see more schools. That's the big one for me right now, is that it was really good to get to know so many of the other players, and the interaction between my students and the other ones was wonderful to watch. So as many schools as possible to come down here gives us a broader competition, really gets them to know each other a little bit more, get a longer tournament even. I think the 1.5 days was a really nice amount of time, but if we could stretch that over 2 days even, I think that would be so cool, just because it gives them more experience and gives them more memories to take home. My highlight was getting to cast my team, to be there behind the microphone, watching them on stage from across the crowd, and getting to see the cheers as they scored a goal, or to get to see the excitement as they shook hands. And that was really special to me. It's been something that's been a part of my life, a big part of my life for a while, and getting to mesh those two aspects, it's something that'll stay with me forever. Years of experience. I still let a little bit sneak through here and there. I very quietly pump my fists when they get a great shot or they manage to get a victory. So I do as well as I can, but yeah, in my heart I'm cheering for them, even if I stay as impartial as possible on camera.
So usually it's about this time where I say it's time for the gaming opportunities in your area, but I haven't really had that for a while, and I do apologize. But as mentioned, we have been in a bit of a break. It is off season for ASL and AUL, and some of the tournaments as well have not been as running fast as they have been in recent time. But that doesn't mean there isn't still esports action that you can't keep up with. Make sure you're following twitch.tv/African Esports or twitch.tv/Kiro Esports. As I just said, we had the Kiro National LAN take place, and they still have their off-season leagues that will be taking place, so don't miss out on any of that action that they have in store for you. So what are you waiting for? Follow these pages and make sure you're also keeping up to date with us here at Gameplay, so I can show you every single bit of action that you do not want to miss. Now it's about that time to take a breather, take a short break, plug in our controllers. But on the other side of this, I actually had my interview at the Kiro National Line with Adam Thomas Lee James from the ACGL team, head of Edu. So I'll see you on the other side. What is happening, folks? Welcome back to the show, and now I'm joined by my very special guest. Today I am joined by the head of Edu at ACGL. Adam, how are we doing today?
Doing fantastic. It's so nice to be on the show for once. I see so many of the teachers, so many people I work with. It's nice to be sitting in the seat for once. Yeah,
fantastic. I mean, we've kind of seen you a few times on the show, but not actually having this direct conversation. So it's actually I'm a bit happy because now it's like finally a one-on-one. So just starting it off, we're at the Kiro National Land, and one thing I'm curious about is why exactly do we call it the Kiro National Land?
Okay, let's break it down. Kiro National Land. Kiro is the main school that drives it. They have it ingrained in part of their curriculum, eSports, and it's great for them because they are nationally around South Africa with so many schools in so many different provinces. eSports is a perfect online way for all of their schools to play together. I mean, playing especially because they have a lot of online school as well as a lot of in-person schools. So it meets all the criteria for them to have school bonding and a school experience together. National, it's our big event. We have lots of Kiro LANs throughout the year, but the National LAN, we invite the entirety of South Africa to play. We have a major LAN hub or LAN space in Cape Town, a major space here in Krugersdorp, and then also lots of schools playing online. So we try and make it as national and as accessible as that can be in this kind of setting. Trying to eliminate all the barriers that it does take so that we can include every single province where we can.
So something I actually took from that, you actually mentioned two things. So one, there have been other lands held, but those aren't necessarily like more nationals. More so, I feel, is it for Kiro? And then with the national land, you kind of mentioned that it kind of allows everyone to get involved, right? So has this kind of seemingly been sort of as a major for esports schools, and is the more smaller ones more so just kind of leading up to this national?
Right, so they don't link up, let's say, with seeding or anything like that, but it's the regional ones built into this, correct. That is 100% to say. But we give Cape Town a space, we give Gauteng a space, and I believe that we are looking to include more provinces next year.
Oh,
but
okay.
All of this builds into giving each region their own representation, and then when it gets to national, it's getting them from that land point to compete with others out of their provinces. I've had a lot of the students who are used to playing with each other, just into school and things like that, being really excited to play some of the Cape Town schools that they've heard about on stream and playing with them in this kind of environment.
So what is the goal behind having the LAN run both online and in person across two venues? I mean, why two venues and why both in LAN and online?
Right, and it's just accessibility. A LAN experience is amazing, and it's so great to be able to sit next to your partners, be able to play people across the room and get a different vibe than if you've been playing online all year. The reason that we do that, again, is just for accessibility. Some schools don't have the greatest infrastructure to be able to hold a fantastic LAN like this, whether that be firewalls, whether that be computers or accessibility. Coming down to, let's say, two pinpoint positions, Cape Town, Krugersdorp, perfect for them. The schools that can't make the trip, which is very understandable, we don't want to leave them out. That's why they come online.
So in a sense, it kind of allows not only for you to be here, but if you can't make it, still have an opportunity to partake online, right?
100%. And I mean, if you think about it, we have so many different schools and students involved that this venue couldn't capacitate that many people, and neither could Cape Town. There are very few venues which could control the level at which we want this LAN to get and be able to spread esports to like a national level. I mean, with AGC, it is a big event for us getting the school kids there, but with this, we can spread it even further across South Africa.
I think that's fantastic to kind of hear, but now poses the question, what has been the biggest challenge coming into this? And you actually mentioned one of it already, is venue capacity, right? What have been the other sort of factors coming into play as to what has sort of hindered you guys going forward or been a challenge to keep things operating?
Okay. There are a lot of challenges when it comes to playing online and offline simultaneously. Because if they're all in one venue, it's very easy to say, hey, Team A, let's play Team B. But sometimes Team C online has gone for a bathroom break for half an hour. So just making sure that people are there to play their matches, being accessible and being able to communicate. We didn't really struggle with it so far at this event. But it has been something that we're very keen on, so we just need to make sure that even the schools that play from home, that they're all aware what lines of communication they need to go to and how that works. Otherwise, infrastructure, it's always important to know that we have enough electricity, capacity. Internet can be very dodgy at times, but we do what we do. We make sure the infrastructure's there and we pray that all the servers and everything hold up throughout the event. Some things are out of our control, but it's mainly those obstacles that either create a delay for this kind of event.
All right, fantastic stuff. And it's really exciting to hear all of this and exciting to see just how far we've come, especially from last year, seeing that was the first time we had the national lamb, but now we're seeing more and more of it sort of come through. And this is more diverting away from the question, but somehow still relating to this. Is it crazy to maybe one day see students be able to earn school colors through esports, especially at maybe an event like this? Because I'm not sure if you know, but Kiro have recognized esports as an actual sport in their school. So would it be a crazy idea to actually have colors being introduced for esports?
It's definitely not a crazy idea, and it's actually it's happened before. The criteria, however, hasn't been set in stone across South Africa, so it's not really uniform. What I know, some schools give specific awards for their achievements in esports. Kira obviously being one of them, but off the top of my head, I know Thomas More College gives their version of colours to their students that participate well. But what Kira is building up to, and what I feel like a lot of these tournaments all over South Africa are building up, is just various ways for the students to be recognised for their achievements and have some kind of merit award be attached to that. Colours is something that a lot of people are pushing for, but we need to make sure we have the numbers and we have the consistency to make sure that we're not handing out colours to anyone who plays a video game. It needs to be specific criteria, and it needs to be managed by governing bodies.
Fantastic stuff. But honestly, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, Adam.
You're welcome. Thanks so much.
Fantastic. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been the show. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. I've been Skara. This has been Gameplay, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. GG's, gamers.